Welcome back to Plot Explained. Today we're diving into one of the strangest, most unsettling movies you'll ever see, Denis Villeneuve's Enemy. A story where Jake Gyllenhaal plays not one, but two characters who might be the same person, or maybe not at all. A movie filled with spiders, doubles, and an ending that has left people scratching their heads for years. In this video, I'll walk you through the movie scene by scene, explain what's really happening, and break down the meaning behind that terrifying final shot. Buckle up, because this isn't just a story about a man finding his doppelganger. It's about control, obsession, and the parts of ourselves we're too afraid to face. Quickly take a moment and like the video, and let's get into it. The movie begins in complete silence, dim lighting, unsettling atmosphere. And right away, Villeneuve sets the tone. We see a man, who is later revealed to be Adam Bell, sitting in an underground club. On stage, a woman walks out carrying a covered silver platter. She slowly lifts the lid, and inside is a large tarantula. Another woman, completely naked, prepares to crush it with her heel while the men in the room watch. It's uncomfortable, disturbing, and intentionally surreal. Right from the start, Villeneuve sets the tone. He tells us that this isn't going to follow normal storytelling rules. Instead, the spider is a symbol, something primal, something to do with fear, repression, and control. After this disturbing sequence, we cut to Adam in his real life. He's a quiet, lonely history professor living in Toronto. His lectures are monotone, his apartment is bare, and his daily routine is robotic. Wake up, teach class, come home, repeat. He's stuck in a loop, much like the way he lectures about history itself repeating. This is where Villeneuve plants the seed. Adam isn't really living. He's just existing. Adam goes home to his small, cluttered apartment. His evenings are as uneventful as his days. He eats, he corrects papers, and sometimes his girlfriend Mary comes over. Even with her though, the connection feels cold and distant. His relationship doesn't have that passion of something real. It's clear that he is stuck in a repetitive loop of work, sleep, and shallow intimacy. One day, while in the teacher's lounge, a colleague casually recommends a movie to him called, Where There's a Will, There's a Way. Adam doesn't think much of it at first, but later that night he decides to watch it. As he sits watching the film, something unusual catches his attention. In one brief scene, a background actor, a hotel bellhop, looks exactly like him. Adam pauses, rewinds, and watches again, stunned. It's not just a resemblance, it's literally his own face. Disturbed, Adam rewinds multiple times, staring at the screen. He can't focus on anything else. The movie continues playing, but Adam is fixated on that split-second moment. And this is the start of his obsession. The next day, Adam tries to go back to his regular teaching routine, but he can't shake the thought of the man in the movie. So, when he returns home, he searches the name of the actor, and the guy's name is Daniel St. Clair, but that's a stage name. Daniel's real name is Anthony Clair. Adam goes to a video store and rents every other film the actor was credited in. At home, he binge watches them all, scanning for the same face. And sure enough, in another film, the man shows up again, and it's really him, identical in every way. Adam freezes in disbelief. Now he knows it wasn't just his imagination. He then starts digging through his own boxes and old photos. He finds a torn photograph with a woman's hand over his shoulder. But the woman's face is missing, and that missing piece will matter later, so keep this in your mind. Next, Adam tracks Anthony to a talent agency, and in a moment that doubles the film's uncanny tone, he's mistaken for Anthony and handed a confidential envelope by an agent who thinks he's the actor. Adam then goes to Anthony's apartment building, calls Anthony's listed phone number and reaches Anthony's pregnant wife, Helen. And she naturally confuses Adam for her husband, but Adam gets confused and abruptly hangs up the call. Later, he calls again and this time Anthony finally answers. He assumes Adam is a stalker and yells at him to stop calling. Anthony then calms Helen that the guy won't bother them anymore. But later, Anthony himself gets curious and looks into Adam. Helen also finds out about Adam and his job at the college. The next day, Anthony calls Adam and tells him that he wants to meet him, and later in the day, Helen also shows up at the college to see the man who sounds exactly like her husband. And when she meets Adam, she's left shocked and speechless that Adam looks exactly like Anthony. Later when she comes back home, she stays silent most of the time, even when Anthony tries to talk to her, and at night, she finally tells Anthony that she went to Adam's college and the man looks exactly like him, and Anthony tells her she shouldn't have taken the risk, but Helen is clearly struggling to grasp the whole situation now. Later, Adam and Anthony finally meet in a hotel room. When they stand face to face, it's not just similarity anymore. It's identical scars, identical handwriting, identical mannerisms. Each and every single thing about them is like a mirror. The meeting is brief, awkward, and electric. Adam gives the envelope to Anthony and leaves because he's clearly unsettled by Anthony's creepy and aggressive behavior. After this charged encounter, the film begins to bifurcate into two kinds of scenes: the slow, neurotic daily life of Adam, and the flashy, risk-taking life of Anthony. They begin to bleed into each other. Anthony's personality is the key plot engine after their meeting, because now he starts getting obsessed. He starts stalking Adam, and also Mary. He follows her around the entire city, and Mary is completely unaware of it. And this is where it gets clear that where Adam is tentative and repressed, Anthony is direct and predatory. Anthony accuses Adam of having slept with Helen and then forces a cruel solution. He demands Adam hand over his clothes, his keys, his identity for a night, a literal theft of personhood, so Anthony can go sleep with Mary as a way to even the score. Adam, bewildered and desperate to stop his life being eaten alive, complies, and Anthony takes Adam's place with Mary, pretending to be him. The man swap escalates the movie from eerie to openly dangerous. After this, Anthony goes with Mary on a night out, and Adam decides that he'll go to Anthony's apartment too. He manages his way in and changes into Anthony's clothes and waits for Helen to come back home, and while he's waiting, he sees the same photo, the one that was half torn. Here he sees the full picture. The woman with him in the picture is Helen. Meanwhile, Anthony is enjoying his night with Mary, and when Helen comes back home, Adam tries to act completely normal with her just like Anthony would, but he's clearly struggling, and Helen senses this but remains calm and silent, and goes into the room to rest. Adam comes and asks her if she needs anything, but Helen asks him to join her in bed, and as Adam settles in, Helen leans into him and asks him if he had a good day at school. It's her way of confirming that she knows she is with Adam, not Anthony. As for Anthony, Mary realizes something is wrong during the sexual encounter. She notices Anthony's wedding ring mark and leaves the hotel. Meanwhile, Helen comforts Adam, who is now breaking down under the pressure of this whole situation and is struggling. Meanwhile, with Anthony and Mary, the mood collapses into a violent, high-speed fight in a car between them, which ends up in a violent crash. That crash, shards of glass, a spider-like pattern of broken window lines, is the film's violent pivot point. After the crash, the movie's reality becomes thinner, dream logic intrudes, and the spider imagery starts to feel less like metaphor and more like the film's language. Meanwhile, Adam has slipped into Anthony's identity even deeper, and Helen has chosen to stay by his side. The next morning, Adam quietly gets dressed into Anthony's clothes, and that's when he finds an envelope in the coat, the same one he got at Anthony's talent agency. He decides to open it, and it contains the key to a private club, the same one Anthony frequented earlier in the movie. This key symbolizes temptation, control, and a cycle repeating itself. Adam holds it in his hand, conflicted whether to go there or not, but his temptation gets the better of him. He walks to the bedroom to tell Helen that he's going out. But when he speaks, Helen doesn't answer. Instead, Adam freezes and his eyes widen in horror. Because standing in the corner of the bedroom is not Helen. It's a massive, terrifying tarantula. The spider curls up against the wall, trembling as if it is afraid of Adam. And he stares at it, shaken to his core. And this is how Enemy ends, with Adam staring at a giant spider in his bedroom. But what does it all mean? I'll try to be as clear as possible. The whole movie is less about two men who look alike, and more about one man's fractured identity. Adam and Anthony aren't separate people, they're two sides of the same man. Adam is the quiet, responsible professor, and Anthony is the reckless, cheating actor. The film shows Adam's struggle to confront this double life he's been living, and how temptation keeps pulling him back to it. The crash with Mary represents the destruction caused by Anthony's reckless behavior. It's like Adam killing off that part of himself, but still not entirely escaping it. Because even after Anthony is gone, Adam is still tempted, and that's where the key to the private club comes in. And when Adam decides to go there, it's a symbol that he's about to repeat the same cycle, giving in to his darker side again. And the spider? That's the most famous part of the movie. Throughout the story, spiders symbolize Adam's fear of women, commitment, and control. We see them in dreams, in metaphors, and finally, right there in his bedroom. The spider at the end represents Helen, not literally, but how Adam perceives her in his mind. It's his fear of intimacy, of being trapped in a stable relationship, looming over him. The fact that the spider recoils in fear means Helen, or stability itself, is fragile, and Adam's decisions will decide if he destroys it or not. So really, the ending isn't about whether the spider is real or not. It's about Adam realizing that no matter how much he tries to bury his dark side, temptation and fear are always there, waiting to pull him back in. And that's what makes Enemy so haunting. It doesn't answer every question, but it leaves you with the feeling that you've just witnessed a man's subconscious tearing itself apart. And that's Denis Villeneuve's Enemy, explained scene by scene. It's a film that blurs the line between reality and symbolism, forcing you to question whether you're watching two men, or just one man fighting himself. And by the end, the doppelganger mystery isn't really about identity theft. It's about obsession, repression, and the cycles we can't escape. The giant spider in that final shot isn't there to be solved like a puzzle, but to be felt as a symbol of fear, control, and the weight of Adam's choices. That's what makes Enemy so unsettling. It crawls under your skin, lingers in your thoughts, and leaves you questioning yourself long after the credits roll. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into movies that make us fall in love with cinema, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. This was Plot Explained, and I'll see you in the next video.